Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. stocks and futures market preview for Tuesday, the 31st of July, 2018. Hope you had a good trading week. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form. And as you can see, we dipped a little bit here on Tuesday. We had a flat opening and then sold off. The tech side sold off worse. The big stocks, big technology stocks, the ones that have held the market up, slipped to the most. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go through the major indices, and then we'll talk about the intraday action, and then talk about what's coming out on Tuesday. So crude oil up $1.30 to 69.99. Gold down $2.90 to 12.20. Not a big deal there. S&P cash loses just 16 points, settling in on that support level that we broke out of. So this is the retest of that breakout that you can see back at 2,800 back in March. Like, we set that level, we broke out of it here a couple weeks ago, and we're retesting that. If we hold, great. If you don't hold on the first retest, that's never really good. NASDAQ side's a lot worse, though, and that's the reason we might not hold. Here's the NASDAQ down 103 points for the session, brought down by Facebook and the likes. Several down days in a row now. It's given up quite a bit since making new highs recently. SOX down 13.68. Biotech's down 37.34. The VIX gains $1.18. Remember, that's 15 levels what I like to watch, and we're getting near it. And if we do, I think we're going to head a lot lower in the market. The trend closes at 0.72. That puts the 10-day moving average at 0.95. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I count back, we're still 3 days away from dropping off that higher number that's up there at 1.75. But we get a couple more readings like this and then drop off that big number. That's going to take the 10-day moving average under 0.85. That would be a sell signal on the market. 2.1 billion shares is better than we've been seeing, but not as good as the last 2 days. Advance decline ratio on the NASDAQ, negative 870, not as bad as Friday. On the New York, only negative 206, so not really horrible at all. But Google loses $22.85. Apple loses $1.07. We had nice winners in Netflix and Tesla on the short side. Both worked well. Netflix loses $20.25. Tesla down $7.01. Amazon down $38.05. Still looks like it's near the highs, even though it lost 38 points. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, down 41 cents, and Goldman Sachs actually up $1.31. Facebook dropping 383, recovering off the lows, but that's down to where it was back in May at this point after the gap down last week. Let's take a look at the intraday action. So here's 5-minute candles. S&P doesn't look like much. It wasn't that exciting. It opened flat and just kind of drifted down, bounced over lunch, and then drifted down again. No, there wasn't any big movements. The NASDAQ side doesn't look like that much either, but you lose 100 points there. Okay, in terms of economic data and whatever for Tuesday, we've got core PCE price index, employment cost index, personal income and spending. Those are all an hour before the bell. S&P housing price index 30 minutes before the bell. Chicago PMI at 9:45. That's 15 minutes in. Consumer confidence at 10. And we start a 2-day Fed meeting. And Tuesday is month end, July end. So the statements print. Usually between that and the Fed, you wouldn't expect it to be very interesting. But today was uninteresting and yet pretty negative when you look at it after the fact. So we'll see what happens. I'd like to see a little more intraday movement, not just these late moves, or like these drifting moves that add up but don't really give you the action during the day that we like to see. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading